Previously, you discovered two important things. First, you were not sent to conquer anything. Second, the empire ahead of you is rich, powerful, unstable, and surrounded by people who hate it with excellent historical reasons. So now you face a practical problem. Your governor in Cuba told you not to colonize. Some of your own men want to go home. And technically, if you march inland, you are no longer leading an expedition. You are running a private illegal conquest with boats. This could be awkward, but you have a legal education. Not enough to become a lawyer, just enough to commit bureaucracy, so you invent a city. Yes, a city. You take your coastal camp, give it a noble name, appoint your friends as officials, hold a very convenient election, and suddenly the same people who were under your command now choose you as their leader. Congratulations! You are no longer simply disobeying the governor. You are the head of a new Spanish town that answers directly to the king. Is this honest? No. Is it clever? Disgustingly. It is like stealing a horse, painting public service on it, and asking the crown for a subsidy. Then you send a letter to Spain explaining that the governor is the real villain. You are merely serving God and king. And here is some gold to help everyone think clearly. There is still one issue. Ships. As long as the ships exist, someone can sail back to Cuba and tell Velázquez what you are doing. So the ships must stop existing. You destroy them. Now your men cannot retreat. They can either follow you inland or stand on the beach and develop a deep personal relationship with regret. So the march begins. A few hundred Spaniards, a handful of horses, some cannons, a lot of confidence that probably should have been medically examined. And then something strange happens. The empire begins to supply your army for you. Local peoples join you. Not because they love Spain, they join because they hate the Aztecs more. And here you show the most dangerous part of your personality. You are not just brave, you are politically poisonous. You see resentment and you turn it into infantry. You see fear and you turn it into an alliance. You see two enemies and somehow convince both that you might be useful. When allies capture Aztec envoys, you secretly arrange their escape, so the Aztecs think you are still friendly. Your allies do not realize what you did. The envoys do. Beautiful, horrible, effective. There are battles too, of course. At Cholula, things explode into massacre and fire. Whether the city truly planned to attack you or your allies pushed you into violence is still debated. But the result is very clear. After Cholula, many people decide that resisting your march is bad for urban planning. Montezuma hesitates, then hesitates again. And hesitation is basically a road paved for you. You enter Tenochtitlan, and even your greedy little expedition must be stunned. This is not a village. This is a massive capital built on water. Temples, markets, canals, causeways, palaces, crowds. Your men expected another native settlement. They find a city that makes parts of Europe look underfunded. Montezuma receives you as honored guests, and this may be his greatest mistake. Because guests are supposed to leave, you do not. For a while, the situation is absurd. The emperor continues ruling. You live in a palace. Your men are fed. Everyone pretends this is diplomacy, but there is gold everywhere. Then one of your allied peoples rebels against Aztec authority. Aztec forces punish them and kill some Spaniards. You get the excuse you need. You arrest imperial officers and execute them. Then you arrest Montezuma himself inside his own palace. Just appreciate the level of madness. A foreign captain with a few hundred men turns the ruler of millions into a prisoner and still makes everyone pretend government is functioning normally. For a moment, it works. Then Cuba finally remembers you are a problem. Velázquez sends an army to arrest you, not locals, Spaniards. With guns, horses, and paperwork, you leave Tenochtitlan, attack them by surprise, defeat them, and then recruit most of them. This is one of the most Cortés things imaginable. A normal man sees an arrest force. You see reinforcements with bad leadership, but while you are away, your men in the capital ruin everything. There is a major religious festival. There is panic, there is violence, and by the time you return, the city has exploded. Your people are trapped in the palace. Now there is no clever legal trick, no smiling diplomacy, just escape. At night, your men load themselves with treasure and try to flee across the causeways. This is where greed becomes physics. Gold is heavy, water is deep. Many Spaniards drown because apparently nobody explained that treasure is not a flotation device. This becomes the night of sorrows. You lose men, horses, weapons, gold, control. Montezuma dies in the chaos, and for a moment the whole insane project seems finished. You are wounded, your army is shattered, you are hiding among allies with a broken plan, and a reputation that suddenly looks much less invincible. But here's the problem for everyone else. You are still alive, and your allies are now trapped by their own choice. If the Aztecs win, they will take revenge. So they stay with you. Then disease arrives. Smallpox spreads through people with no immunity. It does more damage than any Spanish sword could dream of doing. By the time you return, the empire is weaker, and this time, you do not just walk into the capital. You strangle it. You cut the causeways. You attack by water. You destroy the aqueducts. You turn the city on the lake into a city without clean water. Month after month, Tenochtitlan breaks under siege, hunger, thirst, disease, and war. Finally, it falls. And now history does something very unfair. It says, Cortés conquered the Aztec Empire. Which is true, and also far too simple. Because you did not do it with 500 Spaniards. You did it with indigenous allies. With disease. With steel. With horses. With legal fraud. With religious certainty. With greed. With diplomacy so dirty it should have been washed before use, but without you specifically. Without your nerve, your lies, your timing, your appetite, your complete inability to accept the word no? Maybe this exact collapse never happens. Now you know. You are Hernán Cortés, the man not sent to conquer an empire who found one full of cracks, pushed every crack open, and somehow convinced the world that the whole thing fell because of him.